installment of time. So welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and we're back to, I guess, just share in our time together this morning at Unity. So we've got Dave Van Haren on drums and John Moody on bass this morning. Brent Decker, myself on piano, and Deb is going to be. So sorry. Yeah, so sorry. Deb's our song leader today, so she's going to come and get ready, and we'll take it away. So if y'all could join with us, we're going to start with I Am Alive with the Spirit of God.
All right, please stand.
Well, good morning and Happy New Year. My name is Lynn Sager. I'm your platform assistant for today. Thanks to everyone who helps make this service possible. Streaming, sound, PowerPoint, ushers, hospitality, script, and the music team. and all those people who volunteer all throughout the week in order to make this Sunday possible. If you haven't already turned your phone to silent or off, please do so. That would be much appreciated. And for those of you who have not been here before, thank you for joining us. We are so glad you're here, and that includes those people who are watching online for the first time. In the front of the pew pockets, there is an information card, and if you are new here, you can fill that out, and after service, return it to an usher, and they will have a small gift for you. So again, we are glad you are here. Of course, announcements scroll before service, after service, so please note those as you're sitting here. But just a couple of extra that I want to add today. Next Sunday, mark your calendars, Donna Odom will be here to talk about racial healing and Martin Luther King's dream. And then after the service, she is going to do a short program, a lunch and learn on the history of the Underground Railroad in Southwest Michigan. And because we have it as a lunch and learn, if you would please sign up out in the lobby so we know how many people we're going to have. So as they prepare a small lunch, I think they're doing soup, they'll know how much to make. And for those of you who don't know what SHARE is, that stands for the Society for History and Racial Equity. It will be a fabulous program, so please plan to be here. And then after service today, the DEI team is meeting. Everyone is welcome. So we meet upstairs in the back. So please come. We're going to be discussing some upcoming activities, and one that Karen Weller had shared that was coming up is the National Day of Racial Healing. It's a program that is going to be held down at the State Theater Tuesday, January 17th. We're going to try to get a group together to go down there and participate. It's free. And I believe it's my notes here say it's at 6 p.m. So you'll hear more about that. So if you would please, before we get service started a little further, let's join together in our mission statement. And together our vision statement. We celebrate of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all, and our core values of love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness. And starting 2023, we're going to celebrate birthdays at the beginning of the month. So if you have a birthday in January, please stand. I will not lead happy birthday. I will let this gentleman, so our beeper. Kids? Oh, okay. Sorry. If we have some youth here in the sanctuary, we are going to send you downstairs for your program. I'm sorry. So to the center aisle, and we will send you on your way. As you go your way, know that you are special and important to us. Thank you. Sorry. And today is our Burning Bowl service. We have Reverend Judy with us again. We're so pleased for that. So next, though, Brent is going to do some special music for us.
Thank you, Brent. That was absolutely beautiful. There is just an abundance of energy in the room this morning. And some of it's pretty upbeat, and some of it's pretty focused. And it's all very, very good. So I'm just delighted to be here with you this morning. Happy New Year, everyone. This is an important Sunday for us. But before we get started, I'd like to take just a moment to acknowledge the passing of Glenn Walker. Glenn died on December 30th after long illness. And I was trying to recall, I became a member in 1998. And for as long as I can remember, Glenn has been chief cook and bottle washer for our Bountiful Feast service that we have here the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And I just always remember him there. And of course, he was a member here and attended on Sundays. And every conversation I ever had with him was just gentle. That's the word that keeps coming to me, is just gentle. He was a very gentle soul. Big hearty laugh. And I suspect lots of enthusiasm and, hard play, hard work, but nonetheless, gentle soul is what comes to mind. And so we lovingly release him to his next purpose, his next feast, his next hearty laugh. And we bless him for all of the things that he did for us and all that he meant to us. And I'd like now to take just a moment of silent prayer for each one of you to remember Glenn in your own way, but also to simply send a loving embrace and loving light and energy to his family and to his friends. So we'll take that moment now. God bless you, Glenn. And we all, I think, look forward maybe for him with a smile to whatever it is that he's going to be cooking up next, because we know it will be something good. Okay, so today we're celebrating two very important rituals and two very important traditions that we have at Unity. The first is our burning bowl ritual, and the second one is a very important statement of our intention for the year ahead that we declare by writing a letter to the God within. Today, both of those represent our willingness to change and to be changed. To allow sufficient time for both of these important activities, we're going to forego a separate time of reading the daily word and meditation and kind of incorporate that into the activities that we have this morning. And then after the burning bowl, we'll take a moment for a musical pause to just relax and then prepare ourselves to go ahead and write our letters. So as we move into this space and this ritual of the burning bowl, Our sacred self, our divine nature, is never disappointed, it's never disillusioned, it's never discouraged, it's never angry or mean-spirited or looking for a way to get even. Our human self often is. And as we seek to follow the teachings and the example of Jesus, who was at the same time both fully human and fully divine, I think we sometimes struggle under the weight of the human experience. We sometimes struggle to find that peace of mind that exists when we are fully aware of our divine nature and centered in our sacred self. The sum total of the experiences that we have had during our time here on the planet, that makes up our past. And what happens in the next moment, and later today, and a week from now, constitutes our future. And in this present moment, we get to choose whether or not we are stepping into a future that is dictated and controlled by the past, or is informed and inspired by the past. The Burning Bowl ritual invites us to release the past for what is possible now. It represents our willingness to release limiting thoughts and ideas that keep us confined within the boundaries of the human condition. And it's an invitation to step into a future that is not dictated and controlled by our past, but one that is informed and inspired by it. Next slide. Do you have another slide? Yep, there we go. Thank you. So our burning bowl invites us to release a weight or a burden that we have been carrying from our human experience so we can free up that energy to open our hearts and open our minds to a more sustained vision of our sacred self. So I'd like to explore real briefly here 2 different concepts that kind of get to the heart of what this ritual is all about. And the first one is the concept of emotional baggage. There we go. So, our human experience is filled with opportunities for us to respond emotionally to everyday living. We get frustrated with unresolved issues. There's pain, and there's grief that's associated with loss. We get angry based on broken promises or commitments. We all experience disappointments from unmet expectations. And we always have those lovely growth opportunities to deal with difficult or challenging situations and people. Now, there are lessons that can be learned from our emotional responses. And if we're growing and we're learning from our disappointments, from our anger, from our frustration, we can be informed and inspired by our past. If we can gain an understanding of who and what challenges us, and if we can truly feel our way through grief and loss, then healing will occur. But our typical emotional responses can morph into emotional baggage if we hold on too tight and let them take up space in our minds, if we let them take up our focus and find them creeping in to our present day experiences and our present day relationships. So, if we think about baggage or luggage, you can go to the store and you can buy a single suitcase, or you can purchase a matched set, right? And the matched set usually includes some relatively standard sizes that are fairly common to most of the manufacturers. Well, for what it's worth, I am of the opinion that emotional baggage tends to come in standard sizes as well. And honestly, none of it fits comfortably under the seat in front of you or in the overhead compartment. Just doesn't, you know? This emotional baggage is rooted in the past. It most often comes from guilt, expectations, our mistakes or the mistakes of other people. And, of course, those negative judgments that we have about ourselves and that we have about others. But the problem with holding on to this emotional baggage is that it is a huge waste of energy. It drains us mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And nothing is ever accomplished with all of this spent energy. We just stay stuck and spin our wheels until we make a conscious decision to change our thinking and to change our focus away from the past. That brings me to the second concept that I wanted to explore with you today, and this is the idea of the loss of energy. Loss of energy from emotional baggage and how it affects us. Most of us are familiar with the infrared sensors that are readily available now to do an energy audit on your home or your business. It monitors heat loss through this infrared camera. And so poorly insulated areas like doors and windows and dormers will show up right on that camera. And those are the places where heat is escaping, energy is being wasted, and we're spending a ton of money to heat our house because of all of this energy loss. So, very clear example of energy loss. And this is what happens to us when we hang on to that emotional baggage. That cost really adds up significantly over time. Now, our spiritual practices will keep us well insulated, okay? This is what keeps us from getting stuck in the past, is our spiritual practices of gratitude and renewal and abundance and forgiveness. They keep us insulated against all of that emotional baggage. And we're here today to let go and release some of that baggage. And we're also here today to recommit to taking care of our sacred self so that we can bring more good and bring more God into the world. So, with our burning bowl ritual, the paper that we burn is a powerful symbol of our desire to let go of the emotional burdens, the emotional baggage, and let go of that weight that we are carrying. The flame that consumes the paper represents the light and the power of our divine nature and the freedom that we can experience when we are centered in and living from our divine nature. So I'm going to invite you now to just get real comfortable and to relax in your space into this now sacred moment. And I do want to share with you the daily word for today. And during this time and the time that follows, please identify a word or two that represents a situation, an experience, an idea of something that you are ready to release. Something that you are ready to let go of, something you are ready to move past and beyond. And so, our daily word for today is freedom. And again, I invite you just simply close your eyes, relax into this process, and think about what it is that you want to be free from and what you want to let go of. The divine presence within me guides me to freedom. At times, I may feel hemmed in by circumstances, limited by a lack of opportunity, or faced with an unwelcome situation and no good choice. And when that happens, I may feel anything but free. Rather than despair, I find my freedom in God and the limitless expression of my divinity. Shifting my perspective from the limits of the world to the expanse and the perfection of spirit, peace fills me. I relax and remember that no earthly trouble is greater or more enduring than God. I claim the power of God, and I feel a strength beyond mere human strength as moment by moment I feel that strength and release limiting beliefs, reclaiming the power I have, reclaiming the power that I gave to my problems and to my emotional baggage. Spirit lives in me and as me. And this truth is my freedom. And from Corinthians, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Brent, do you have a little music for us? Take your flash paper, and as you think about that and listen to the music and reflect, write down one or two words or a phrase that represents what it is you are ready to release. may come forward whenever you're ready. And remember to just touch the flame and drop the paper, and the paper will burn up. So, an observation or two that I will share with you. No matter how many times we do this, I think we are almost always surprised by how quickly, really, how quickly that we can release when that paper and the flame come together. And another observation, this process is not without some resistance. Know that. It happens. Because sometimes, at some level, most of us have at least one or two stories that we will hang on to, and will always struggle to release. But when we feel that resistance, and we know that we're really hanging on, clinging on to that one story, maybe if you're not willing to give it up, you might be willing to consider writing a different ending. Because you absolutely have that in your power as well. That is the power that comes from being well insulated through spiritual practices. That is the power that comes to us when we are centered in and living from our divine nature. So even if you're not ready to release that story, give yourself the freedom to daydream a little bit, to write a new ending to that story. And we're going to take some time here in just a moment for our next activity, which is to write our intentions for this coming year, to declare the vision that we have for ourselves this year as being part of our willingness to be changed and to change. But before we do that, we're going to take a little bit of a break here musically. Brent's going to play I'm Here to Remember, or Here to Remind You. Deb's going to lead us in song. And so allow yourself to express those words, to feel the message and the warmth and the love that is in this song as we again celebrate our willingness to live from and through our sacred self.
To help you awake to all
Thank you, Deb. So, just as quickly as the flash paper is consumed, really and truly, that's how easy it is for us to make that shift away from emotional baggage and emotional responses and into a spiritual perspective. We make that shift in this moment to choose to be inspired and informed by our human experience, but not dictated and controlled by it. But we need to keep making that decision in the next moment, and the moment after that, and tomorrow, and next week. Because as good and as clean as we may feel right now, sooner or later, the world's going to catch up with us. You know, it's got our number. So this next activity, this next ritual that we're going to participate in is a way of stating that intention to live from that centered, sacred self. And so we take some time to consider how we are willing to be changed and how that is going to manifest itself for us. In Job chapter 22, verse 28, it says, "You will decide upon a matter, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways." So we've made some decisions, and it's being established for us. It is established for us. And so now is the time that we determine and declare a new direction for the coming year, and we affirm that intention and our gratitude for its manifestation. It's not just about making a to-do list of what we want to change. It's about envisioning ourselves in that space and feeling gratitude to have that life that we've always desired. We imagine that we are living a life that we absolutely love. And so we state our intention to be that and our gratitude for that. So we begin this letters process by affirming that when we live in alignment with spiritual law, it allows for a fuller and freer expression of our life. We affirm that practicing spiritual principles allows us to visualize and live a purposeful life that's characterized by health and wholeness, peace and abundance, loving relationships, kindness and compassion. Our faith in spiritual law and spiritual principles allows us to confidently go in the direction of our dreams, to live the life that we have imagined, and to meet with success unexpected in common hours. So we use the words of our letter to describe our vision of that life we would love to live, and we give thanks for the outpicturing of that creative process. So as you prepare to write your letter, I invite you to relax in this sacred moment, and I'll share with you one more daily word, the daily word for tomorrow, because that's where the rubber meets the road, right? Okay. So again, relax and think about this intention that you have. So, the word is yes. And the affirmation is, I say yes to life and I welcome my good. Today, I say no to fear and inhibition, and I say yes to life. Like flipping a switch and flooding a room with light, or tossing your flash paper into the flame. That simple impact of saying yes expands my life. An infinite supply of energy fills me, quickening my vital forces. I feel the power of my faith, trusting at a deep level I am lovingly supported on my path. I am open and receptive to the divine flow of life, love, and possibilities. I say yes to prosperity, healing, harmony, and peace. I live with the assurance and positive expectancy. And when doubts and fears creep into my thinking, I calmly return to the truth of my divinity and the knowledge that I am co-creating my future with God. My faith moves me confidently in the direction of my dreams. I say yes to my good today and every day. And from Matthew chapter 9, verse 28, Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" And they said to him, "Yes, Lord." So again, I'll invite Brent to share some music with us while we go ahead and complete this process of writing these letters. And again, think to the future. Visualize your surroundings. Feel the love of the people in your life. Breathe in the satisfaction and the joy of your work. Appreciate good food, good health, and good times. See yourself showing kindness and compassion to everyone and everything. Know that you are one with all of creation, and you are one with the Creator. fold it up and place it in the envelope. Seal up the envelope, put your name and address on it. And the ushers will collect these. You can drop them in the basket at offertory time. If you need a little bit more time, you can give it to an usher at the end of the service. And we will hold these locked up in the safe for 6 months, and then you'll receive them sometime in the June time frame. It'll be an opportunity to remind yourself of this time today, of these intentions that you have declared for yourself. Your intention to change and be changed. And so, with wishes for abundant blessings and amazing outcomes for each and every one of you, this concludes our second ritual, and this concludes this portion of the service today. So thank you, everyone. God bless you. Have an amazing week.
Good morning. My name is Deb Imbrock, and I am a member of your board. If you would please join me, whether you are here in the sanctuary or at home, in our board affirmation. Unity of Kalamazoo is a magnetic and vibrant spiritual community, spreading love, happiness, and joy. We are thrilled to begin our amazing journey together with our right and perfect new minister. Thank you. And as the ushers come forward, please take your tithes, your love offerings, and join me in the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
And as the ushers come forward, as you saw on the screen, we are also a tithing church to ourselves, Great Lakes Unity Regional Conference, Unity Worldwide, and Kalamazoo Drop-In Center. And if you hold the following thoughts in prayer. Loving Spirit, thank you for the many blessings of this church and this community. We give thanks to the gifts received today and those that are given throughout the week. We thank those of you who are watching and giving from home. Please receive these tithes and love offerings with all the love and all the gratitude and for all the good that will come from them, and that this good will continue to travel out throughout the Kalamazoo community and the world, bringing prosperity to all. Amen. And as we bring our service to a close, I invite you to stand, including those at home, and we'll do our prayer for protection. And together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now as we close with the peace song, if you're comfortable, you may hold hands with your neighbor. Otherwise, you may certainly just place your hand on your heart and connect within.